Are egg yolks bad or good for seniors' health? This is a question that almost everyone over 50 has asked at some point, especially if you've ever sat in a doctor's office staring nervously at your cholesterol results. Maybe you remember being told years ago to avoid egg yolks at all costs, that they were dangerous for your heart, that they would clog your arteries. And so you might have pushed away the sunny side up breakfast you loved, thinking you were doing the right thing for your body. But here's the truth. The story of egg yolks is far more complicated, far more surprising, and much more hopeful than the old warnings we grew up hearing. If you've ever felt guilty about eating an egg, or wondered if that golden yolk was friend or foe, today we're going to unpack the science, the myths, and the real impact egg yolks can have on your health after 50. I want to start by acknowledging something very real. When we reach our 50s and 60s, health becomes more than just numbers on a lab test. It becomes the key to living fully. You might notice that your energy isn't quite the same, that your digestion is more sensitive, that your doctor reminds you more often about blood pressure, blood sugar, or cholesterol. And let's be honest, sometimes that can feel overwhelming, even discouraging. That's why food choices feel heavier now than they did when we were 30. Every bite feels like it either moves us closer to vitality or closer to decline. So, when the spotlight falls on something as simple as an egg yolk, it's not just a matter of taste, it's a matter of trust in our own bodies. For decades, nutrition advice painted egg yolks as villains. They were labeled as little cholesterol bombs, each containing around 185 milligrams of dietary cholesterol. And the fear was simple. More cholesterol in your diet equals more cholesterol in your blood, leading to clogged arteries and heart disease. That message was repeated in magazines, morning TV shows, and even doctors' offices. I remember my own relatives in the 1980s carefully scooping out the yolks, eating only the whites, and patting themselves on the back for being healthy. But science evolves, and what we've learned over the past 20 years is that the relationship between dietary cholesterol and blood cholesterol is not as straightforward as once believed. In fact, for most people, the cholesterol you eat has very little impact on the cholesterol levels in your blood. The real culprits driving high cholesterol, inflammation, and heart disease risk are more complex. They involve saturated fat, trans fats, genetics, and lifestyle factors like smoking, stress, and inactivity. So here's the shocking twist. Egg yolks are not the enemy we once thought they were. They are actually one of the most nutrient-rich foods you can put on your plate, especially as you age. That golden center is packed with vitamins like A, D, E, and K, all fat-soluble nutrients that support vision, immunity, bone health, and even your skin. They also contain choline, a nutrient that most Americans don't get enough of, which is essential for brain health and memory, something we all care deeply about after 50. Imagine this. A single egg yolk gives you nutrients that support your eyes, your brain, your bones, and even your mood. That sounds less like a health threat and more like a natural multivitamin. Let's talk about eyes for a moment. Age-related vision decline is one of the most common frustrations after 50. Reading glasses multiply in every corner of the house, driving at night becomes harder, and you may start hearing words like macular degeneration at eye appointments. Well, egg yolks are rich in two antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin, which are concentrated in the yolk's yellow pigment. These compounds accumulate in the retina of your eye, where they act like internal sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and protecting against oxidative damage. Studies have shown that people who eat eggs regularly have higher levels of these protective compounds in their eyes, lowering their risk of vision problems. That alone makes egg yolks worth celebrating. Now let's shift to the brain. After 50, memory lapses become more frequent. We might laugh about forgetting where we left our keys, but beneath the laughter is often a quiet fear. What if this is the start of something worse? Egg yolks provide choline, which the body uses to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory and learning. Research links higher choline intake with better cognitive performance and even a lower risk of dementia. So when you eat an egg yolk, you're literally feeding your brain what it needs to stay sharp. Isn't that empowering? But I also know what you're probably asking. What about the cholesterol? What about my heart? Here's where the science gets interesting. Large-scale studies have found that for most healthy adults, including those over 50, eating up to one egg per day does not increase the risk of heart disease. In fact, Some research suggests that eggs can improve your cholesterol profile by raising HDL, the good cholesterol, and altering LDL particles into a larger, less harmful form. Of course, context matters. If you're frying your eggs in bacon grease every morning, that's not the yolk's fault. It's the company it keeps. The healthiest way to eat eggs is to pair them with vegetables, whole grains, or healthy fats like avocado, not processed meats or refined carbs. That's where real transformation happens. And let me be clear, there are exceptions. Some people, called hyperresponders, do experience higher blood cholesterol when eating eggs. If that's you, your doctor may advise caution. But even then, many experts suggest that the benefits of egg yolks, especially for eyes and brain, often outweigh the risks when eaten in moderation. What does moderation look like? For most seniors, that means about 3 to 7 eggs per week, depending on your overall diet and health goals. That might surprise you, especially if you've spent decades fearing them. But science now supports eggs as part of a healthy eating pattern, particularly when balanced with fiber-rich foods, leafy greens, fruits, and lean proteins. Let's bring this down to a real-life scenario. Imagine your breakfast table. You could start the day with sugary cereal and milk, or a white bagel with cream cheese, foods that spike your blood sugar, offer little nutrition, and leave you hungry again in 2 hours. Or you could enjoy 2 eggs scrambled with spinach, tomatoes, and a slice of whole grain toast. Not only does that taste satisfying, but it fuels your body with protein, antioxidants, and brain boosting nutrients that carry you through the morning. The difference in how you feel at 10 a.m. is enormous. This is why I always encourage people, don't just ask, is this food good or bad? Instead, ask, how does this food fit into the bigger picture of my health? For seniors, egg yolks fit beautifully, as long as they're part of a balanced, mindful approach. Now, I want to pause and speak directly to you. If you're someone who's been avoiding egg yolks for years, ask yourself, was that decision based on outdated advice? And how might your health improve if you allowed this nutrient-dense food back into your diet in a smart way? If this resonates with you, I'd love for you to share your experience in the comments. Have you been skipping yolks? Or have you already embraced them again? Your story might encourage someone else who is still unsure. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we share science-based insights like this every week, designed especially for people over 50 who want to live stronger, longer, and healthier. Let's go even deeper into the nutritional richness of the yolk, because it's fascinating. Egg yolks contain vitamin D, one of the few natural food sources of this vital nutrient. After 50, vitamin D becomes harder to get from sunlight alone, especially in winter months, yet it's essential for bone strength and immune resilience. They also carry B vitamins like B12, critical for nerve function and energy. And here's another overlooked gem. Egg yolks are one of the best sources of selenium, a mineral that supports thyroid health and acts as an antioxidant. All of these nutrients work together to protect your body from the very issues that become most pressing with age: frailty, memory decline, and chronic disease. Think about it. Nature packaged all of this inside a small golden orb we've been told to fear. Isn't that ironic? Sometimes the foods we demonize turn out to be the very ones that could support us most. And that brings me to a bigger life lesson. Health advice changes, but our bodies remain wise. They often tell us what we need if we listen. If you feel satisfied, energized, and clear-headed after eating an egg-based meal, that's worth noticing. Our health journey after 50 isn't about rigid rules. It's about tuning in, applying updated science, and making choices that give us vitality and joy. Some of you might also be wondering about weight management. Let's face it, metabolism slows with age, and keeping extra pounds off gets harder. Here's where eggs shine again. Because they're high in protein and healthy fat, eggs help you feel full longer, reducing the urge to snack on less healthy foods. That makes them a powerful ally for weight control, especially at breakfast. And unlike expensive supplements or diet products, eggs are affordable, accessible, and easy to prepare. This is real food, not hype. So are egg yolks bad or good for seniors' health? The science is clear. For most of us, they're not just good, they're excellent. They nourish the very systems that matter most as we age: our heart, our eyes, our brain, our bones, and even our waistline. The key is moderation and mindful preparation. No, you don't need to eat a dozen a day, but you also don't need to fear the few you enjoy each week. and that's liberating. Imagine the freedom of letting go of outdated fear and embracing the truth that food can be both delicious and healing. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today, it's this: egg yolks are not a threat to your health, but a gift you can use wisely. Let's stop punishing ourselves with guilt over breakfast and instead start celebrating the foods that help us thrive. So the next time you crack an egg and see that golden yolk, smile. You're holding a small, powerful ally in your hands. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you eat egg yolks regularly? Have you noticed a difference in your energy, your memory, or your overall health? Leave a comment below. I read every one, and your story might be the encouragement someone else needs. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe because we're building a community of people over 50 who want to age with strength, knowledge, and joy. Remember, it's never too late to rewrite the story of your health. Sometimes the very foods you feared are the ones that can help you feel alive again. Embrace the yolk, embrace the wisdom, and embrace the vibrant years still ahead of you.